a appointment today for one of my janitorial clients. It is a property management company. They do currently have somebody that they're using now, but they would want to explore their options. They have over 40 condos and over 300 residential homes.
Got another one from my IT client today in Sandusky, Ohio. Actually, it's been a while since I was able to get a hold of him, but last month we spoke to him and he said their service was dropped off quite a bit, and they wanted us to come out. So we're going to go out there next week, Wednesday. About 40 users in 3 locations, so should be a pretty good one.
Grabbed a pretty good one today for a service master out in North Carolina. Spoke with the administrator of a 3-location medical facility. Mentioned that they're currently working with vendors for all their locations despite being in the same city. Was open to seeing what it would look like to consolidate. Actually going to be opening another office here in the next month or so. So really good opportunity, about 26,000 or so square feet between the locations currently. Our owner's going to be going out there a week from Tuesday and see if we can get something closed.
Set up a meeting for my software client in Indianapolis. I called a foundry that uses CNC machining as well as 3D printing to cast custom parts. The plant manager there was interested in taking an in-person meeting to talk about building automation, manufacturing execution software, and maintenance management.
I got number 4 for Prestige today. First time appointment. We just finally got the property manager on the phone. Been chasing this one for about a month now. Said the roof shot, they're pretty sure they're going to need a re-roof, active leaks in one of the buildings. They just had like an ice storm down there, so we'll be out there next Tuesday.
Got one for Whiteboard today, pretty large nonprofit in Buffalo. They actually ran an RFP a couple months ago and didn't like any of the options. So they want us to come out and kind of show us what we can do for them. And they got like 7 buildings over there, so it should be pretty good.
Got one for my Pennsylvania client today. I talked to this guy a couple times. The first time was no interest, but he did say he had 2 companies he was working with, so I used that angle the next call a couple weeks later. I was like, hey, you said you're working with 2 companies. How about looking at one? And he said follow up in January. Talked to him today. They actually have active pain. He actually has response time issues, and he said that they'll fix stuff, and then it's not fixed. And I was like, oh man, let's definitely set a meeting then. And so we set one up for next week.
Good one for my client Houston. I spoke with the property manager of an apartment complex. They said they're having a lot of leaks, but the only proposals they keep getting are re-roof proposals. And they said the next person that gives them a repair job, basically it's a closed deal. So I told them we'll be out there next week Tuesday and we'll get it done for them. So it sounds like a pretty good one. Their budget's like $60,000, so it should be pretty all right, I guess.
Sounds like a proposal for $60,000. Clayton?
Yeah, I got a pretty good one for Firelands, one that I've been chasing down for about a month now. Spoke to him last month. He was open to a meeting, but was pretty busy. Finally got him on the horn today. He's got active pain. They're having some issues with their current MSP. Their service dropped off pretty bad. So Jeff's going to go out there next week. They got about their 3 locations and about 40 users. So it's a good opportunity for them.
Proposals? Deals?
I have 1.5 proposals. I'll explain the half. Shot came back and told me that this hospital that they met with a couple times now finally got a proposal out for $4,900 for cabling. They think that'll close in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then potential for cybersecurity after he gets that win. He didn't want to press until he locks them down. And then Creative came back and texted me yesterday and said they met with this guy Victor and we're taking over cybersecurity help desk. And one other thing, he said they have 140 employees and he's meeting with them on the 13th, but he said it's going to be a proposal for over $10K a month.
And I had a pretty good one for Maintenance of America. They've been waiting, or they walked South Lake Town Square, the pretty big thing down there in Dallas. At the beginning of this month, we've been waiting for like a few other things from the property manager or maintenance guy over there. They finally gave it over, so we got the number. It's just a little under $30,000. It was $16,500 for the exterior of it, and then all the interior was like $13,300 or something like that. So like $29,500.
One more time. That's a lot.
Got a pretty good one today from my client in Pennsylvania. It's a smaller company, but they have a lot going on. And I talked to the guy the first time in September, and he really wasn't interested in talking about IT. But he did say he had 2 companies that he was working with. So then on the follow-up call before Christmas break, I just said, hey, you told me that you guys were working with 2 companies. Just curious if you'd be interested in looking at what it would look like to work with 1 company. And he goes, yeah, let's talk about that in January. I talked to him today, and they actually have some actual issues with their current setup that have not been addressed. And so it's going to be a really good appointment. Pretty excited for my client.
Just set one for my Nashville roofer. It was a heating and cooling warehouse, 22,000 square feet, metal roof. We're going out there to take a look at it on Wednesday.
I got an appointment today for my IT guy in Texas. It's with a real estate agent. They have about 8 computers and a ton of cabling issues. They said they have an entire closet that's just a mess. They call it the IT closet. So we're going out on Monday at 1 p.m.
I got one today from my client in Oklahoma. I called an apartment complex, finally got the property manager on the phone. She informed me that one of the units has a leak in it. They've done plenty of repairs on the entire apartment complex, but she said it's finally time for a re-roof. So we'll be going out there next Tuesday, get them a quote on doing a complete re-roof.
I got an appointment today for my client out in Buffalo. It's with a pretty large nonprofit out there. They actually ran an RFP a couple months ago, and they weren't really liking any of the options that they had, so they wanted us to come out and kind of show us what we could do for them. They have about 7 different buildings over there, so it should be a pretty good one.
Set up a meeting for my solar client in Illinois today. Called a concrete manufacturer. He'd actually moved locations. I checked this new location that he purchased. He was renting at the previous. It was within our profile, so I asked if he was interested in solar for his facility. He said, you know what, sure, I had thought about it when I was renting, but now I want to do it when I own a building. He's got a meeting Monday to talk to him over Teams.
I got one for my Utah IT client. They were looking for managed services and cybersecurity. Only 6 users, but we're going and having a meeting with them on Wednesday.
I got an appointment today for my client in Houston. I spoke with the property manager at an apartment complex. They got 5 different buildings out there. I guess building 4 is leaking pretty bad. They've had 3 roofers come out there and bid them for re-roofs, and they really want a repair bid. So they kind of said the first one to go out there and give them a repair bid gets the job. So we're going out there Tuesday, so hopefully we can get that done for them.